Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the raise hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras. Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting. At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Aloha, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Welcome to, what is it, October? October meeting of the Hawaii Board of Nursing. I'm Carrie Oliveira, I'm the chair. At this time, I'm going to read some information about attending virtual board meetings. This meeting has been publicly announced pursuant to the state's rules and all that. If you wish to submit written testimony on any agenda item, please submit your testimony to nursing@dcca.hawaii.gov or by hard copy mail to Attention Board of Nursing at P.O. Box address listed on the agenda. We do request submission of testimony at least 24 hours prior to the meeting to ensure that it can be distributed to all board members. If you're choosing to attend our meeting virtually today by internet, to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in a standard email format. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chair asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that agenda item. The chair will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chair, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. If you are attending by phone or audio-only access, when the chair asks for public testimony, you may indicate that you wish to testify by entering star and then 9 on your telephone's keypad. After entering star and 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chair, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and 6 on your phone. At that time, a voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you are finished speaking, please enter star and 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If the connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. The information for the rescheduled meeting will be posted on the Board of Nursing's website. Instructions to attend State of Hawaii virtual board meetings is available online. All right, at this time, I'm going to take a roll call of board members. To see if we're all here, I'm Carrie, I'm the chair, I'm present. For those of our board members who are attending virtually, please make sure that you also indicate whether you are alone in whatever location you are at. Okay, board member Karen Boyer.
Present.
Diana Jill Riggs.
Present and alone.
Ooh, we're getting an echo. Bradley Kuo.
Present.
Sherry Shields,
Present.
Sherry Shields Hansen, Sherry Shields Hansen,
There you
Terrence Aratani.
Here.
Thank you. We have board members Benjamin Ramos and Luz Viminda Miguel who are excused today. We do have a quorum. The meeting is called to order. All right. Chair's report. I don't have any announcements. That is my announcement. Next thing under the chair's agenda is the approval of the executive session minutes from the August 3rd, 2023 meeting. Is there any comment, edits, or whatever to those minutes? Seeing none, I move to approve the minutes as circulated. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll take Karen's second. Thank you, Karen. Does any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the motion passes. The ayes have it, the motion passes. All right, next thing is the approval of the minutes from the September 7th meeting. That's both the open and executive session minutes. Are there any changes, edits to those minutes? Either set? Seeing none, hearing none, I move to approve the minutes of the September 7th meeting as circulated. Is there a second?
Second.
Who was that?
Bradley.
Bradley, thank you, Bradley. Does any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda is our education committee reports from August 3rd and September 7th. To that, I will hand it over to Karen Boyer, our education committee chair.
Okay, we had a meeting in August of the Education Committee where we approved the minutes from January and March of 2023. We accepted faculty applications from Kauai Community College, Margaret Plyler, Cheryl Shields, University of Hawaii at Manoa, Nancy A. Walsh School of Nursing, Christine Louie, Brenna Kahana, Kyung Young Lee, Vincent Pear, Cynthia Gray Wolf, Angel Eccles, Samia Valeria Osorio Dutra, Chris Asseret. Additional information was requested of the following faculty from Nancy A. Walsh School of Nursing for Tracy Stogner, Rhonda Sipp, Chloe Hasegawa, and Kate Takahashi. At that meeting, we approved the Dean of Hawaii Pacific University, Edna Magbantai Monroe. There was discussion about preceptors for nurses at all levels, practical nurse RN and APRN, and English proficiency requirements for foreign educated nurse applicants was also discussed. At the September meeting, we approved the minutes of the August meeting. We accepted faculty applications from Nawson for Cheryl Ann Afuso Sumimoto, Nicole Chun, Heather Katahara. Additional information was requested for Angela Leonardo, Yasmin Latour, and Ki Si. And that is the education recommendation.
So you need a motion.
Is there a motion to accept the education committee's reports and recommendations?
I'll move.
I'll take Terrence's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll take Bradley's second. Thank you so much. Does any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it. The motion carries. Excellent. All right. Up next on the agenda, we have a Chapter 91 adjudicatory matter on the agenda. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and invite testimony. I don't think I need a recess. So testimony from, we have attorneys present today. Yep.
So we're gonna ask Mr. Cook to go first. You're okay. Did you want to come up with her? And
Sure.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Tom Cook. I represent Joanne McDermott.
I'm going to stop you for just one second. Jill, can you confirm that you can hear Mr. Cook?
I can hear. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
I understand we have 5 minutes for presentation. For that reason, we did submit writing. I think it covers the issue. The issue at hand is Ms. McDermott's compliance with the agreement that was reached earlier this year, and specifically her compliance with the continuing education requirement. I think Joanne would concede that she was probably a little late in getting on completing that. That involved a late discovery that the course that she committed to a pursuant to the settlement agreement actually didn't even exist at the time she signed the settlement agreement. She promptly found a substitute which appears to be substantially identical to the course that was addressed in the settlement agreement. She is in all respects in full compliance with the settlement agreement. She has a job opportunity, which was somewhat difficult to find given the need to disclose the settlement agreement. And this is really the final piece to put together for restoration for license and the pursuit of her career. Joanne and I are both prepared to answer any questions you might have. I think the only further comment I would make is that almost on a personal level, I see a lot of human failures and not much redemption. Joanne made a mistake in her life and has done everything right since. But I don't have anything further. Happy to answer any questions, either myself or Ms.
Thank you. Board have any questions? Okay.
Do you want? anything?
I would really like the opportunity to have my license restored so I can get back to work and help support my family. I have a 7-year-old daughter, so.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate your testimony.
Okay, we're gonna ask the RICO attorney to address the board now. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Good morning. My name is Wesley Barr. I represent the state of Hawaii RICO office. You might have seen my name on some of the settlement agreements you've seen. Haven't had a chance to appear in person, so thank you for having me. I'll make this short. This is a case where the respondent, Ms. McDermott, was remorseful from the beginning, took responsibility. Our settlement agreement terms are pretty extensive because they mirror the she entered into in the criminal case. We have received the letter from her probation officer that she's in full compliance. And because this course was available when we put the settlement agreement together, the board approved it February 3rd of this year, and this course was discontinued, I think January 31st. And I did receive another certificate of compliance from the respondent for a similar course. So RICO has no objection to whatever the board decides to do, but we believe that she has complied with the spirit of the settlement agreement. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, having heard testimony from both sides, I'm going to call a recess pursuant to chapter 91 so that the board may deliberate over the testimony for today. So our guests could exit. Thank you.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Hi, Jill. We're gonna go into Teams for recess.
Oh, yeah. We'll behave. And we're coming back into the meeting. We're coming back into the meeting. Okay. Woohoo. Wow, they're having a party out there or something. I'm sorry, Sherry, for being all up in your business.
That's okay. I want to make sure you have your space if you're the chair.
Like sprawling.
I don't want to mess with your feng shui.
So they left. Oh, they left. Okay.
I said the 49.
Stop it. So I need to say that out loud though, do I not? As a matter of record?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, we have returned to the open meeting. Thank you so much for deliberating, board. The board has voted and determined that it will accept Ms. McDermott's alternative course for compliance with the settlement agreement and the board's final order. So that's wonderful. That's an FYI. All right, moving on then to the next agenda item is our executive officers report. Man, you guys got a lot of stuff to talk to us about today. Here we go.
Okay, first up is the emergency proclamation to wildfires. We are currently on the 7th proclamation that was issued on September 8th. It expires on November 6th of this year. It pretty much continues the language of suspending licensure for nurses under circumstances. Okay, the licenses you could be previously licensed and have it expired, but it hasn't been previously revoked or suspended. And the nurses need to be hired by state or county agency, hospital, clinic, or healthcare entity within the state.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so the second one is your proposed amendments to the Hawaii Administrative Rules, Chapter 89, related to nurses regarding amendments pertaining to temporary permits. It is currently with your Attorney General for review of any substance things. And as soon as I get it back, then we will start the rules adoption process.
Yay.
For the third agenda item, it is a deferred item from the September 7th meeting. It is the topic of veterinary nurses, the use of the term. And it's an inquiry from Dr. Sarah Federschmidt, veterinarian. Is she in the audience?
Yes, Dr. Federschmidt, I will be promoting you to panel.
Hi, Dr. Federschmidt.
Hi there, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we sure can. Thank you so much. You can go ahead and provide your testimony. You have 5 minutes to tell the board whatever you'd like us to know.
Thank you very much for letting me speak today. As a guest of this board meeting, I'm here to discuss the importance of the title of nurse and ask that the board consider the implications of creating rules that impact medical workers of a different flavor, especially implications that directly impact the livelihood of a niche group dominated by hardworking women. My understanding is that the Board of Nursing is opposed to the use of the term veterinary nurse, and I'm hoping after our discussion today, you might reconsider that position. As I mentioned, my name is Dr. Sarah Federschmidt. I'm a veterinarian and founder of Polina Vet, which is a small animal general practice in Kailua. The mission of Polina Vet is to guide families in the pursuit of health and well-being for their animal family members. I know how important animals are to many families, and there is an increasing demand for caring and compassionate veterinary medical care. I am passionate about providing that care. I'm also passionate about wellness within my field. I aspire to pay my team a livable wage so that they can pay for their child's daycare, make their ever-increasing rent payments, and attempt to turn a calling into a sustainable career. But the profession is riddled with burnout and mental health issues. Similar to human nursing, vet med experiences a suicide rate of over double that of the general population. But as we deal with the trauma, heartache, and yes, the passion of serving families and patients, the average non-DVM, non-doctor veterinary medical professional makes a mere $18 an hour. A seemingly small but critical component to being able to pay these professionals a competitive wage is educating our clientele about the value that they provide. As a doctor, I'm lost without my team. In fact, I couldn't sustainably perform any of my 3 core functions, diagnosis, prescribing, or surgery without them. These team members monitor anesthesia, perform cytologies, intubate geriatric felines, take radiographs, and place IV catheters in sick puppies, all in a day's work. They stay late when a client calls, desperate to have their animal family members healed. And then because veterinarians are a cash-based business, they field complaints from clients about the bill. The words we use to describe their role matters. I use the term veterinary nurse not to degrade the nursing profession or confuse the public, but to elevate, educate, and clarify the role my team members play. The nursing profession is esteemed by the public, and I agree, the term nurse should be jealously guarded. I'm the mother of 3, the youngest of which is now only 6 months old. During my most recent labor and delivery, I cannot express how grateful I was for the care and attention of the incredible nursing team that assisted me during that long and complicated partition. Their support and genuine care made all the difference. Similarly, my team sit and hold the hands of Kapuna as their only companion is euthanized. We have to administer death to dearly loved family members and do it humanely and compassionately every single time. The nursing field is a calling, not just a job. My team members feel the same passion you do for your patients. There are substantial differences in human medicine and veterinary medicine, that is without a doubt, but they are both forms of medicine and share more in common than not. My patients have femurs, tracheas, nasal passageways, and genitalia. They suffer from dermatitis, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. My nurses, just like you, see it all, and they are there for their patients and families every step of the way. To enable licensed veterinary technicians to use the universally respected title of nurse could never diminish that title. It will and always should be held in high esteem. But there is a swath of true experts who aren't paid what they're worth, don't get the credit they are due, and struggle because of their constant underestimation. A title isn't everything, but the words we use matter. And it is my duty as a leader who's in the trenches with these professionals every day to advocate for them. I ask the Board of Nursing to support your fellow medical professionals by enabling them to use the term veterinary nurse, a term that aligns their professional competence with the respect that competence is due. Please consider the small good that can be done for these courageous, dedicated medical professionals who scrub in every day, just like you, but compassionately deliver care to family members of a different species. That was all I had. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Does any board member have any questions for Dr. Fetterschmidt?
I have a question.
You may ask a question, Executive Officer Tashima.
Thank you. Dr. Fetterschmidt, my name is Leanne Tashima. I'm an executive officer for the Board of Nursing. I have a question. I'm not very familiar with the vet tech or a vet nurse. Is there a difference in their scope of practice and their education and training?
No, I'm proposing that the licensed veterinary technicians who are licensed by the state of Hawaii as a veterinary technician, that we just be able to use the term, in not to change their title or anything like that officially, but in my practice that I can refer them to them as veterinary nurses. And so no different in scope than a veterinary tech.
Also, you want to use the term vet nurse in lieu of vet tech, but because it's the same scope of practice, it's the same person. It's just you want to use the term vet nurse.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I see. Okay.
My thought there is that I think that the public understands the role of a nurse and what they in human nursing and what they do for us there. And I think the role that the vet tech in my practice anyway, as it relates, is more aligned with the vet nurse and the role that they serve. And so I think that using that term would help us communicate with the public the role that those team members play.
Does anybody else have any questions for? Yes. Oh,
So,
Karen, and then
the
Karen.
organization that approves veterinary technicians is the American Veterinary Medical Association that approves the, vet tech programs are accredited by the Committee on Vet Tech Education Activities, CVTEA. Is that correct? And that's a requirement in the state of Hawaii to be called or to be licensed as a veterinary technician?
Yes, that's my understanding is they have to graduate from an accredited program and pass their VT&E and then submit, the registration paperwork and get approved by the state of Hawaii.
Thank you.
Karen.
Yeah, hi. Are you aware of any other states that use that term?
I know there are other countries, New Zealand and the UK in
And
particular, that
in
do.
Australia, but what
Yeah.
about states?
Yeah, I think there is a trend to name a specific state. I quite honestly couldn't do that for you. But I think there are a few states that are allowing their veterinary nurses to be, I can follow up with you on that in an email afterwards if you'd like specifics on which states are allowing the use of the term veterinary nurse. I can look that up.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I have a question. I'm just curious here, the entire linchpin of your argument is that there's a importance to communicating to the public using the word nurse to help them understand the role. And also that there's a well-being issue connected to the term use. What evidence do you have that would suggest that the adoption of another profession's title would improve the well-being of people in your field?
Yeah, I think being able to use the term veterinary nurse, do I have data on this? Quite honestly, I don't. But I think we can all kind of understand, everyone, if you pull someone off the street and you say, what's a nurse, they're probably able to describe that role. If we say, what's a veterinary technician, there's a lot more questions about what that person does and what their role is. And so I think for me to be able to pay those folks and charge appropriately for the nurse's time, me being able to communicate that with the public is going to be important. And of course, the more that we're able to charge for those services, the more I'm able to pay the team for their time for that. So I don't quite, if you're asking specifically for data or a paper that kind of looks at that, I can definitely do some research and get back to you and see if there's anything out there. But I don't have any data.
Okay, that's useful to know. Oh, our executive officer has another question.
Hi, Dr. Federer-Schmidt, it's Leanne Tashima again. I have a question. In your letter, or in Carrie Shahan's letter, dated July 14, I don't know if you have a copy of that. She refers to Hawaii Revised Statutes, Chapter 472, Veterinary Technician Program. So there's a veterinary technician program that is separate from the veterinary board.
Yeah, so my understanding of kind of the bureaucracy that's associated with those is quite honestly pretty limited, but I know there is a veterinary technician program, and then I think there's a veterinary board, and I believe those are two separate entities.
Okay, and has the veterinary technician program, besides it's not prohibited under their chapter, have they weighed in on this matter? Did you bring this to their attention?
I have not brought this specific topic to their attention. I'm not sure. I got a letter, as you stated, from them, stating the usage of the term, and they CC'd you guys on it, which is why I came to you. I haven't brought it up with them. I kind of wanted to come to you guys first. I have brought up another topic, which is to clarify the scope of practice for veterinary technicians in Hawaii. And I have not been able to get an answer back. The answer I got was that they don't have enough veterinary technicians on the advisory committee to convene a meeting to discuss the topic. And so that was the answer I got on that topic in particular. So I think they're having trouble being able to convene to discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a general question?
Sure, Bradley.
And this may not pertain to Dr. Federer-Schmidt. Is there any license in the state of, sorry, my name is Bradley Kuo. Is there any license in the state of Hawaii that is able to call themselves something different than what their license actually states? Is there a practice of doing so? And I only ask that because in the interest of public education and public awareness, that is something very focused here in nursing. You cannot call yourself a nurse in this state unless you meet these conditions and you have this license. So at this time, the vet tech is its own license. So is there any license in the state that can call themselves other than what they're actually licensed as?
For the areas that I have overseen in the past, I have not that to my knowledge. In a lot of the laws and rules for the professions, there is a quote, what we refer to as title protection. So it says, unless licensed under this chapter, you cannot use the term blank, 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 or these acronyms. I think most of the professions under the professional vocational licensing division has some kind of title protection in their laws or rules. So not that I am aware of,
Okay,
but I don't know for sure.
Terrence, you have a-
Representing the public, I think it would be confusing because on the, in Hawaii revised statute, it says veterinary technician. Okay, so I think it would have to be a legislative change, not for us as a board to decide.
But I think that's good. And bringing it to the board's attention, then if there is a bill that is introduced, then you know, we will provide testimony
At the time.
at that time.
Okay,
Thank you.
other questions for Dr. Fetterschmidt? Great, thank you, Dr. Fetterschmidt. We appreciate your testimony. We're gonna discuss at this time. If we have any more questions, we'll bring you back over.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. So the board previously did decide, this was back in 2019, it's been a minute, that the term veterinary nurse was not consistent with title protection afforded to nurses. Rules, is it the rules or statute? I don't know where it is.
Your law.
It's in the law. Okay, so is there anything that we heard today that would give the board cause to reverse course on that opinion?
not in my opinion.
Karen?
No.
No, I saw a head shaking from Jill,
Just trying to get more.
kind of assertive nose here. I'm inclined to agree. Nothing. So there appears to be consensus from the board that we are not changing our opinion on the term of the use of veterinary nurse, use of the term veterinary nurse.
Jill was saying something, but I think she was muted.
Jill, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jill, please. Oh, no, you're still muted. Hang on.
Hold on.
We're checking on things here too.
So you're upholding your previous decision?
That is what it appears to be the case, yes. You can hear us, but we can't hear you.
Sounds like marketing.
We can hear Sherry, so it's not a speaker issue on our side.
Sherry raised her hand.
I mean, that's the example.
No, that's just a cursor.
Oh, was like,
I know, it looks very like,
like,
oh no, Jill.
My experience, sometimes when people put their AirPods in on Zoom, then they can't speak.
oh, the microphone.
So maybe try to take the AirPods out and see if that'll work.
Okay. We're getting the wait finger. That's a wait.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I had to put it on my computer speaker. The only I don't have any disagreement with what the board is talking about. I don't think we should do the term nurse, but I do want to comment that in other areas, like on the mainland, the schools are calling them veterinary nursing programs. Although they're getting a vet tech license, they're calling them nursing programs. So I just want to make that comment because it does look like it's a trend.
I saw it at Michigan State University.
I saw it Michigan State, Purdue, Truckee, I mean, you know, in different areas. So but I looked at the Hawaii, I think Windward Community College, and nowhere in there it says nursing.
Correct. Yeah. I went to that program also.
Thanks for that note, Jill. Okay, so that's a consensus. All right, thanks, everybody. We're going to move on to our next agenda item, which is still the executive officer's report. I lost my agenda. Hold on. It's gone. No, I haven't. Okay, up next, e-notify.
Okay, so I found this nice article. If a nurse signs up for this e-notify database, it will remind you, because you know you put in information about your licenses, it will remind you when your license is due to expire and you should renew it. And I think all the restoration applicants on my desk right now should sign up for e-notify. You're listening.
It is free. It's a free service provided by NCSBN. All you have to do is set up a profile as a nurse.
And I want to check that one because I want to see if it tells you what the requirements are to renew your license.
That's a great
As
question.
Well,
I don't know the answer to that question.
but I
Worth
think
investigating.
everybody should sign up for this. We should put it in our laws and rules and make it mandatory.
Wow,
Okay, never mind.
that's a bold statement, EO.
Why? Why? Okay, okay, so I remember you guys talked about the random audit. We're gonna do 2%.
Yep.
I'm assuming 2% of LPNs, 2% of RNs.
Yes.
2% of APRNs.
Yes.
With prescriptive authority. And that did we notify you that probably the date will be, or the letters will go out this month sometime?
Okay.
And they have 60 days to respond. So instead of being nitpicky about exactly 60 days, we thought we just, by the end of the year. We're giving them extra time.
I think that's totally reasonable.
So just to let you know if you see that.
Cool.
I just want to let you guys know. So
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say that for all the nurses who are not on this meeting, but should be, and will listen to the recording later, you will be receiving mail, hard copy mail.
Mhm.
If you are selected for audit for your continuing competency requirements, so look out for that. Make sure you submit your compliance, evidence of compliance.
So in the past, I think we've posted on our website. A
Yes.
list of those who were selected. So there's some other areas who also have a random audit. And they're like, don't post my name on there. Or don't post the list on there. They had various reasons. So is there any concern from this board why we shouldn't post a list of those nurses who are randomly selected to provide proof that they complied with the continuing competency requirement?
No,
Why would we be concerned about that?
all licensed individuals is not private information.
Right, I can.
Public information.
So, and it's not like we're reporting the status of their compliance, right? It is just a list of, hey, be on the lookout for a letter, which I think is a service to nurses.
Plus, if you know that your coworker, right?
Right.
Hey Karen, I saw you were on the list.
I do it. I check the list for all the nurses I know and be like, hey, you're on the list.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll post it. We'll just post a list.
Okay.
All right.
You're gonna say something more?
Let the sleeping dog fly.
All right.
What happened?
Double take it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, make a note, Sherry left. I mean, she'll be back, but
Yes.
just, we have to.
Sherry stepped out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, okay, good. All right, and then the last one is we received a proposed legislation for the 2020 session. Our title is a bill for an act relating to healthcare provider credentialing. So this applies more to APRNs. The purpose of this bill is to reduce duplicative administrative burden in the healthcare system. Adds a new chapter or section to chapter 321, which falls under the Department of Health. So a heads up, sure. Yeah, so anyways, so of course, this is just a draft. It can change drastically, but might wanna share it with your people, organization,
Mm-hmm.
to take so I don't know how it has to do with reimbursement, bottom line. Credentialing, credentials, trying to uniform the credentialing, requirements for whatever, so that, reimbursement across the board, whatever. So I don't want to read into it, okay? Sorry.
Totally reasonable.
All right, so that's all I have. Put on the agenda.
That's it for the EOs. All right, thank you so much for your report. We appreciate you. Up next on the agenda are reports from Hawaii nursing organizations. So first we have Hawaii State Center for Nursing. Is there anybody from the Hawaii State Center for Nursing here today?
Yes, Sasha.
Sasha.
Did she raise her hand? Then don't.
Okay. Not providing the update. So we don't have a report from the Hawaii State Center for Nursing.
Laura's traveling, isn't she?
She is. Laura Reichart is in the middle of getting inducted into the American Academy of Nurses.
Hall of Fame?
Yes, it's the Nursing Hall of Fame. Yeah, so that's
Can
pretty.
you remind me so that we can put it on the agenda for the November meeting?
I will make sure I remind you of that. Yes. So that's cool. So she's off in Washington, DC, being recognized for her contribution to the profession of nursing. Okay, so up next, then we have Hawaii American Nurses Association, Linda Beechner.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Linda Beechler, and I'm the executive director and volunteer and vice president of Hawaii American Nurses Association. And proud to say we currently have 440 members of RNs in the state. We're climbing up there. Very happy about that. And it's remarkable, and in my experience has always been that the most active members in the professional association come from the neighbor islands. And in fact, we're in the middle of an election right now, and both of the president-elect candidates are from Maui.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, yeah. So that's an ongoing thing, and we're, of course, trying to support Maui nurses in any way we can, given the tragedy in their community. And we have we've had an ongoing fundraising effort for nurses on Maui, and partnered with a uniform shop over there, and providing stethoscopes, shoes, socks, underwear early on when people had nothing to go back to work and that kind of thing. So that's still ongoing, and we are working with students in the student nursing programs also. So it's kind of thrown a kibosh into our annual conference. Our 2023 fourth annual conference is coming up on October the 28th, and I have some flyers for you. And would encourage any nurses to go on the QR code here. The president of American Nurses Association, Dr. Jennifer Menzick Kennedy, is our keynote speaker. And to that end, we are having an all-day conference offering 6 CEs, hours of CEs, on October the 28th from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then from 5 to 7 p.m. we are hosting a VIP reception for the nursing community. And I brought you handwritten invitations for you and your designate spouse, colleague, whoever you'd like to bring for 2 hours to have a toast of wine and beer and meet the president of American Nurses Association and celebrate with the nurses of Hawaii.
Yes.
You can sign up to bring people who you want to bring.
Thank you,
Linda.
And that's, I did want to make a comment, if I may, about NCSBN nursing notified.
Yes, please.
Could I just
Please
make a
comment.
comment about that? I thought that was an excellent idea
Mhm.
that we would. That we would support and of course send out in all our newsletters and invitations.
Oh, good.
To support. My one concern about it was, it's about selling the list and making it available to advertisers, etc. Which
is that what they do?
I don't know.
NCSBN won't give data to like a center for nursing, so it seems very unlikely that they would sell it, but I can't vouch for that
Yeah.
specifically. That would seem very
We're
unlikely.
so, conscious of that in Hawaii, but a lot of other states are not and can get lists for people to send out to, including the Nurses Association.
Yeah.
And we can't, so I just want to protect it. That's all that I had to report on today.
Okay, that's a good question. We should probably look into that. Thanks for raising that question, Linda.
Thank you.
Any questions for Linda? Great, thank you so much.
Welcome.
All right, up next we have Happen, Hawaii Association of Professional Nurses. Is Jeremy Creekmore here or another rep from Happen?
Here, yes.
Awesome.
I will be promoting you to panelists.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Sorry
Hi,
about my. Good morning, good morning. Not a whole bunch. I won't take up too much of your time. Hawaii Association of Professional Nurses continues to put together our gathering, which we hope to do about mid-November. I think right now we're shooting for the date of November 18th. But that could shift based off of some things that have possibly come up in the last venue and that kind of thing. But this would be a free gathering that would include like a luncheon, just a point for everybody to kind of gather and talk story and just spend time together as professionals. So we're really looking forward to that. And Dr. Jamie Bowling is heading that up, and we'll have a speaker. No CEUs or anything for this. This is more of just a gathering. Then we'll also continue our work on a conference for next year, summertime, and I will keep you guys posted as we go forward on that. But other than that, we're always incredibly grateful to be invited and to share at the Board of Nursing meetings and really appreciate it. And I'll stand by for any questions.
Any questions for Jeremy? Great, thanks, Jeremy. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Oh. All right, so at this time, the next item on the agenda is a discussion of applications. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move to go into executive session in accordance with HRS 92-4 and 92-5 to consider and evaluate personal information relating to individuals applying for professional or vocational licenses and to consult with the board's attorney on questions and issues pertaining to the board's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Bradley. Any board member vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the motion carries. Ayes have it. Ayes have it, motion carries. Okay. We will go into executive session. See you there, Jill. If you want to go pee,
Yeah, I was just.
now's a good time. Awesome. Let's do the motions, man. At this time, I move to approve the ratification lists for LPN, RN, and APRN licenses as attached to the agenda for this meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Terrence?
Yes.
Thank you, Terrence. Does any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, ayes have it, the motion carries.
FYI,
Yes,
LPN 42 in the last month, licensed issued licenses.
okay,
For RNs 462,
okay. Okay,
FYI.
thank you. All right, is there a motion related to the applications for licensed practical nurses?
This is Bradley. I move to approve the following licensed practical nurses applications. Rita Ann Jackson, Brandy Victorino, and Melissa Young.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Oh,
He's just gonna do all of them at the same.
oh, I'm sorry.
I move to also approve the following registered nurse applications: Yvette Beltis, Christina Jones, Caroline Ledbetter. Also move to approve the following APRN, Advanced Practice Registered Nurse applications: Christina Jones and Jason Kissick.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Oh, go ahead.
I'll take Karen's second. Thank you. Does any board member wish to recuse themselves, abstain from voting, or vote nay on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
I'd also like to make an additional motion to defer Maureen Murphy's application for additional information from the California Board of Nursing regarding the terms of their agreement.
Compliance with the terms.
Compliance with the terms of their agreement. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Karen seconds.
Karen, I'll take your second. Thank you. Does any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. All right, I would like to move to approve the list for the Regulated Industries Complaints Office Advisory Committee membership for nursing as amended. So
moved.
Okay, thanks. Is there a second?
Who said that?
Bradley.
Okay, again, we have a virtual, please say your name,
Sorry.
because there's people listening that seen you.
Right.
So
Okay, so with my motion, Bradley, I'll take your second.
Okay.
Okay. Any board member wish to vote nay, recuse themselves, or abstain from voting on that motion? Seeing none, hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries. All right, next item on our agenda is next meeting date, Thursday, November 2, 9 a.m., same time, same place. Does any board member right now know that they will not be able to attend that meeting? If that changes, please let our executive officers know as soon as you do. And that concludes the agenda for the October Hawaii Board of Nursing meeting. We are adjourned.